All right, so the next video after this one is going to be on a synchronous motor, but I just want to take a moment here to look at 28200 branch circuit overcurrent protection and look at subrule 2D, where it says the overcurrent protection or the overcurrent device required by subrule 1 shall be D, an instantaneous trip magnetic only circuit interrupter applied in accordance with rule 28210. When we look at that, an instantaneous trip circuit breaker is a circuit breaker that strictly has overcurrent protection. There is no overload element in the motor. All right, you cannot put this motor in anywhere other than, or this circuit breaker in anywhere really other than a motor circuit, because when you read this rule here, 28210, it says, when used for branch circuit protection, instantaneous trip circuit breakers shall be part of a combination motor starter or controller. So motors only. That also provides overload protection and rated or adjusted for an AC motor to trip at not more than 1300% of motor full load current or at not more than 215% of motor locked rotor current where given, except that the ratings or settings for trip currents need not be less than 15 amps. So what I did there is put an example of a motor. I just made up the FLA of 100 amps because it makes the calculation easy. Continuous duty 575. This is the type of circuit breaker that you see on a fire pump controller. Okay, so 1300%. That means calculation $1,300 amp breaker calculated, and if it was a continuous duty motor, the conductor would only have to be 125 amps. Look at that. How's that for protection? But we have overload protection on the motor. To protect it from overload, this is just simply to allow it to start up. So fire pumps are unique in the sense that they must start up under all conditions. All right? So there's a calculation on an instantaneous trip circuit breaker, and if it's a DC motor, B, it says rated or adjusted to set for a DC motor rated at 50 horsepower or less to trip at not more than 250% of motor full load current. So a DC motor, you guys, where do we get? We have table 44 for three-phase full load currents. We have table 45 for single-phase full load currents. And for DC motors, oddly enough, we have to go to Appendix D. Take a look here. DC motors, D2. Here's your full load current ratings for DC motors. So you'll get asked this on an exam. Whenever you do DC motors, whether it's second year or third year, it's all game after that. All right, so nothing changes as far as calculating conductor ampacity, whether it's a DC motor. It's just that's the table you're going to use. All right, so there's a quick one. Instantaneous trip circuit breakers, that's the rule. Has to uniquely say it, okay? Thanks.